Hi there, welcome back to another video. Today I thought I'd do something a little bit different and I'm going to take you on a little bit of a guided tour inside one of my self-paced online classes, in particular Table and Plate. This is a fabulous class if you're thinking about diving into food photography. I go through everything from staging, styling, setup, behind the scenes, lighting, all the rest of it. So let's have a look at what you get inside the class. So this is what it looks like once you've signed in and you're in the class. So I run my school on a platform called Thinkific. It's free to sign up and do as many classes as you like. You just purchase the classes you want, but you don't have to pay a subscription or anything like that to use the platform. So it's one that I particularly like. So I have the introduction and I usually have it broken into several different sort of modules. So you've got the welcome, so there's a bit of introduction, what the class is about. There is also a link here for my fabulous Facebook group, which is called My Creative Journey. So feel free to join that if you haven't already. I go through camera gear that I used when I was shooting this class. So this was a little while ago on my A7 II. So even though the class itself may have been recorded a little while ago, everything that's in it is still very, very valid. Next, there's a little video on food options, lighting, tables, backgrounds, and I go into these further in detail in the actual classes themselves. A little bit more about picking props. Some of these are video based, some of them are written based. There's also bonuses, so I offer up some bonus textures that you can put with your images, and then there's also some Lightroom presets that were created for this particular class. I then go through things like little extra touches on how to make candied lemons, how to make chalk leaves, using gold dust and food powder and drizzling chocolate, working with frozen berries, and of course there's videos for all of these going through. There's also some written documents as well. Then once I get past all of that, I then break it down into different projects. So there's breakfast, snacks and entrees, mains and desserts. So for breakfast, we're looking at banana smoothies. And of course I make all of these and then go through and shoot them. So I've also got the recipes and things like that as well. So there is always the behind the scenes. So I go through the behind the scenes, how I set it up, the lighting I used, backgrounds, props, etc. There's a little recipe there, and we have this all the time. It is so yummy. Then I also go through on how I edited it in Lightroom Classic, and I go through showing you the presets that I used, and that's same for the berry crunch, scrambled eggs and bacon muffins. These are really quite popular. Then there's avocado on toast with blistered tomatoes, croissants with Nutella and strawberries. One could argue that these are desserts, not breakfast, but it's up to you whether you've got a sweet tooth. Then we go into snacks. So there's rustic tomatoes, mini bruschetta, baby spinach, cheesy flat breadsticks, loaded nachos, sung chow bao, mains. There's basil pesto, cherry tomatoes and chorizo penne, Thai green curry, chicken gyros, things like that. Desserts, cheesecake, flourless chocolate cake. Keeping in mind my household is predominantly gluten-free as well as lactose and egg-free. So I have a lot of recipes that have easily adapted for lactose-free or gluten-free, things like that. It may not be listed here, but it's easily adapted. So if that's something that you're having to deal with, then it's a fabulous recipes to go through. This one in particular has eggs, but you can use egg substitute as I used here. So there's there's apricot and strawberry turnovers, white chocolate panna cotta, chocolate mousse, etc. And that pretty much brings you to the end of it. So there's a little bit of a thank you there, but all of the classes, so you get a breakdown behind the scenes. There is also a Lightroom edit for each and every little project that we did. So I think there's like 3 or 4 breakfasts, 3 or 4 snacks, 3 or 4 mains and desserts and all the rest of it. So you can pick and choose. They are not drop files, as in, you know, you've got to do one lesson before you go on to the other. They're all available, so you can pick and choose. So if you really, really want to jump straight into the desserts, which I've sort of got at the end, then you can do that. If you just want to do breakfast, you can straight into that, or mains, whatever. So it's up to you how you want to do it. You don't have to go into all the little extra touches, but if you want to know, and these are things that I used in the preparation, so the candied lemons, the chocolate leaves, gold dust and food powders and drizzling and frozen berries and things like that. These were things that I used in the shoots, so I put a whole sort of module together on how I made each of those. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed having a little look around. So if you would like to jump in and perhaps have a look at this class, I'm going to put a special discount code down below for all of you watching on YouTube. So don't forget to grab that. Jump on Thintific and have a look at that class or any of my other classes. And hopefully I'll see you online soon. Bye.